How's it going, everybody? So this Thursday they revealed the new PTS changes on their Warrior Stand stream. In case you've missed it, I'm going to put a link both to the VOD as well as to an image gallery with their slides of their PowerPoint presentation in the video description. I'm not going to go over every single point, but rather over the things that concern us as Raider players. When they started the slides and it showed the very first thing, I immediately thought, oh fuck that, are you serious? Light parry frame advantage is reduced to be consistent with heavy parry, and guard break is no longer guaranteed. This right here means our parry game got butchered. No more heavies for us and no more throwing people around. We're now stuck with a measly 15 damage light on every parry. But don't forget to switch direction like I always do. Only Conqueror's parry game is worse. What this also means for us is that we can no longer kill off of a parry. Quite a lot of characters actually can't anymore. I linked to a document that shows all parry follow-ups if those are the only changes. Credit goes to Brace for that. In my opinion, this shifts our gameplay more towards you guys' oh so beloved Stampede charge. Simply because of what they did with the out of stamina state. In my opinion, they went way overboard here. Being out of stamina seems like a complete death sentence. Roman said the following: you shouldn't go out of stamina in the first place. Well, I'm not really subscribing to that logic. It's like saying, hey, you shouldn't get hit in the first place. Seems like a desired outcome, but it's not really what's going to happen now, is it? I'd rather not run out of stamina, but with the current mix-ups that involve soft feinting a freaking zone attack a lot of the time, eating up around 60% of our stamina for 18 damage, that's just not feasible. The pseudo buff to 130 stamina in 1.07 isn't really helping here considering the big picture. I mean, I'm not claiming to have the best stamina management, but Roman's logic is just not sound here, considering how harsh the consequences are. But hey, on the other hand, Raider is really good at putting people into that state, so that's what we should be focusing on. Once we have someone exhausted, our unlock and running around shenanigans become even more oppressive. Dodging stops stamina regen. Dodges are slowed down by 200 milliseconds. Yeah, seems like a lot of fun for our opponents. But my biggest issue is the fact that you can no longer parry while being exhausted. I mean, come on. The mind games with our zone attack are just way too good to pass up. I really don't understand why they take that away from us. Now there are only 2 possible outcomes instead of 3. They either try to dodge or they hit the full 50 damage because they don't want to stop their stamina regen. Why take away that additional layer of the parry? Why dumb things down? I really hate that change. I don't see the point of it at all. But hey, at least now we can just mindlessly wail on our opponent. Blocking stops the stamina regen, and we were blessed with a triple light combo that won't get interrupted in this very case. The faster we hit them in succession, the less stamina they regen. At least we don't do any further stamina damage, we just stop them regaining it. They haven't said anything about how our draining tools work though. Maybe stunning tap and the knee to the face still reset their stamina to 20%, but that's just me guessing. This needs to be tested next week. But while we're at wailing mindlessly, chip damage of all attacks has been increased to 18%. Just to give an example, if you hit their block with our full 3 top heavy combo, you do 21.6 damage. Our triple light combo does 8.1 damage. I think that's still negligible. Go up to like 30% or so. The possible problems we're facing here are probably in the 4v4 modes. Imagine 4 people just spamming top heavies at you. You don't even need a Centurion to spam kicks and pins on you anymore. Every inbred monkey that found the heavy button can kill you now as long as he outnumbers you. So yeah, I think it'll be extremely hard to find a middle ground here to please both the dual crowd as well as the Dominion players. And what I forgot to talk about are the changes to guard break vulnerability during the start of attacks. No matter what attack, you're vulnerable up to 100 milliseconds. So I've talked to a few people, and to be honest, I'm not quite sure what to make of this. What I can tell you is that you can no longer react to a guard break attempt with a light. You will get guard broken out of it. But other than that, this change seems really weird to me. Let's look at a heavy feint into guard break while the other person attempts to parry. I hope this makes sense. As it is right now, we're looking at something really inconsistent. Sometimes you grab the other person, sometimes you eat a heavy to the face. Attacks differ in their startup, so let's assume feint and parry window are 100 milliseconds apart. You swing your heavy, feint and guard break. When you start your guard break, your opponent hasn't input his heavy yet. So your guard break starts at minus 100 milliseconds of his attack. Every guard break in the game takes 400 milliseconds to connect. So your guard break connects at 300 milliseconds into your opponent's attack, which is too late as the window of vulnerability is too small. So do I have some logical fallacy here, or did they actually remove that option? If you can help me here, I'd appreciate it a lot. I'll of course test this thing on the PTS, but I just can't wrap my head around that small window. It seems to go against their previous statement of wanting to make failed parries more punishing. Oh well, on to the revenge changes. I actually think those are fine. It's definitely worth testing. I'd personally add additional chip damage during revenge mode to emphasize the whole thing of someone swinging their weapon in desperation. But other than that, seems alright. I hope they experiment a little more here. I don't want an unkillable superhero, but the current iteration that just gets pinballed around by unblockables isn't that desirable either. I think that's all that's really relevant for us. Removal of flicker doesn't concern us, as we rarely flicker our zone to begin with. Kinda fucks over Orochi's, but oh well. Feel free to give me your opinion on all of the changes. Maybe you can change my mind on some of it. All in all, I like that they're going all out here, and also let us test those changes. Now it all depends on whether they actually listen to our feedback and tone down some of the stuff. Thanks for watching. Laters everybody.